I turn on the wrong thing. 1 second.
What did you turn on?
I forgot to. Yes, I did turn on VODs, Dan. Don't worry, I corrected that issue early last week after I realized it was not doing its thing. Sorry. Yes, welcome back to the TokyoFreshPodcast, where I have to spin 8 plates at once just to get the stream running.
This is what streaming is all about, to be fair. Mm-hmm. You're spinning a lot. Have you not seen the giant streamer backpacks people have when they're like going out to do IRL streams?
It's mostly because they need batteries.
Yeah. That and also like various like setups and like satellite links and up cables and stuff like that. I think I had a very interesting conversation with someone via the DMs ages ago now, where they were asking me like, hey, why don't you stream? They're like, Jordan, you should do like Japan IRL streams. You'd be really good at it. And I'm like, oh, yeah? They're like, yeah, you know, going around Tokyo, going around Japan, showing us what you're up to, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, do you know what? This does sound fun. And I know people that do this professionally for a living.
Right, yeah.
Let me look into
people
this.
like Luke.
Yeah. Luke does. Yeah, people like Luke. Oh, Luke's really good at it as well. Like, he's always like around doing something interesting. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, let me look into this and see like how, you know, how hard it is set up, what are the logistics like. And it is like, David, it's like spinning plates while you're on fire and the world around you burns. And while that's happening, you're meant to be like, hey guys, we're going to check out big camera. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everything is on fire, everything's burning, the screen's shutting down, like people are talking to you, you've got a fucking was like a mega morpher on your arm. It's crazy. Like, there's so much going on.
You mean like a Power Ranger?
Yeah, like a little Power Ranger morpher on your arm, like flashing shit up. Like, there's like so much going on, and people are like, "Oh, this is." Yeah,
it's a lot of shit. I don't want to talk about it too much because it's not really necessary.
No. I find this really interesting.
I just realized like I had started the intro, and I'm like, okay, well, I have to be in this window to turn on the microphones. And then I realized, I didn't actually hit record on the main recording software to get the audio. Not that it matters, because if the VOD picks it up, it doesn't really matter.
But still, I get it.
The audio from there, but
it's intense, honestly.
Yeah, it's a lot of bullshit. especially now that I'm like gonna be the switcher, right?
Oh, you're gonna be like
also no intro music. Okay, that must be because I had the desktop audio on, because before it would double play, so you would just have the intro music over top of itself in an echo, and it sounded like dog shit. So that's good to know that I have to have
everything on, basically.
Yeah, okay, so it's there you go, right? None last week. So yeah, I know I have to have the desktop audio on in order to hear the intro.
Listen,
which is weird, because the intro has its own audio associated with it, so it shouldn't matter
too much.
Well, no, it shouldn't matter what plays on my PC.
Ah, that's weird.
Like, I don't need to hear the intro, because the transition
it's transitioning itself. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
audio, but I guess not.
Streaming is stressful, dude. I can't even begin, honestly. But yeah. I digress. David, how's your week been? What have you been doing this week? What have you been up to?
God, podcast beta testing payment. This week, oh God, having a fucking mental breakdown last night.
Last night?
Yeah.
The fuck happened, dude? Last night? You good?
It's just a lot of things colliding at once, where I'm just like, it's just like, I had to just, sometimes you just gotta flush it all out, right?
Oh yeah, you gotta take a moment. Yeah, super important.
Oh man, yeah, it was not good.
No.
Better
now? A little better now?
Yeah. No, I'm definitely better now.
Which
like,
is good, yeah.
Just, it's a lot of stuff. I guess like I can talk about it. It's weird, because I talked with Chihiro about it. It's more like life stuff, where I felt like, now that I've been here a while, right?
Yeah.
Like, you should be a little bit established.
Yeah.
But I'm sitting at this point where I'm like, I don't have a definitive job. Like, the money is not come in yet from that other job. It'll come in this month.
I get it.
But I gotta wait for it.
Yeah.
you know, like I can't be doing that kind of stuff forever.
Yeah.
You know, I'm taking the JLPT tomorrow, and I like definitely know I'm gonna fucking bomb that. Just based off of like what I'm studying, right? Because I did not give myself enough time to study, and then other life things got in the way where I ended up getting a full time it was weird. So I applied to go take the JLPT.
Yeah.
And then immediately, I think like that week, it was like maybe like a day or something later. It's like, oh, well, now you have to be at the school.
6 a.m.
Yeah, like 6 days a week. Yeah, to go teach it, like, you know, and be there at 6 a.m. till like 5. And then getting home, like I'm not getting home till 7. So by the time I get home, like I'm literally leaving my house at 6 a.m.
Getting there, like
getting home at 7 p.m. So basically the entire day is gone. But by the time I get home, I was like, I don't know,
I remember,
I don't
like,
want to fucking study.
doing something similar. I used to think for a long time, like, okay, I'm gonna study on the trains. I'm gonna like use my phone, study on the trains. Perfectly good. You cannot study on the trains.
No, you can't. It's impossible.
You cannot focus.
Maybe some people can. I cannot.
I want to be sat down. I can do one ikani on my phone on the trains. That is the hard limit of what I can study on the trains. I can flick through some like digital flashcards, but to sit down and take them in, I need to be like sitting at a desk, like books out, pens in hand. Like that's how I study. That's how I learn. So I get it. Like when you're burning so much time, like going from place to place, and you get home at like 7, 8 o'clock. Because like you say 7 o'clock, but really and truly with the trains and Japan and rush hour, it's like 7:30, 7 some days, 8 some days, 8:30 some days,
and then it's like both of us are working, so I get home and it's like, okay, well now I have to make dinner. And that takes an hour, and like by the time I'm done all this rigmarole, it's like
bedtime,
9, 10 p.m. and
I'm like,
to go to bed. I need to fucking go to bed because I gotta get up for 5 a.m. to go to bed. So like, you know, like I'm looking through because I started doing more of this test stuff because I have the I'll show it here in a second. I have the like a JLPT like prep book. Like I have a whole bunch of them because my intention was to do all of them, study and whatever, right? And just it didn't happen. So I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Maybe I'll test myself and I'll go through it, and I get to like the Boompo section and I'm like, this is like infinitely more fucking hard than I thought it was going to be. Like I'm like, oh, okay, well, like N3, like how hard could that, like N2 is the hard one, right?
No, it jumps really hard. Yeah.
No, yeah, like people who are like, oh, you know, I only have N3, like I think you're maybe selling yourself a little.
You're selling yourself a little short, honestly.
Because like I would love to quiz you. Like you haven't been studying, but I feel like your Japanese is better than me.
I've not been studying, indeed. Go on.
Like some of these questions, I look at it and I'm like, this is like fucking hard.
Limichi, I've not seen N3 textbooks in so long. Maybe a quick
like here, I'll hand it to you.
Ooh, I got the textbook in hand. This is
the Boompo. What I have it at is the Boompo section.
See, this is my worst subject. I'm really bad at sentence structures, as you know.
So like I'm looking at this, and the problem is like I get to an answer and I look at all the answers and I'm like, all of those seem all right. I see what you're saying, yeah. And there's like specifically like a question, right? I think previously I'll flip back to the question and I'll see if you can figure out the answer. But depending on your reading of the question, it was like the answers are way at the back. So what do you think the answer is to that question?
Toshitara, maybe?
Toshitara for number
two, yeah.
Number 2.
But they want a very specific I can't say the word. Specific answer from me. I know that's not what they want, but it feels like that fits.
Toshitara is wrong.
Fuck, was it Yoni?
No.
What was it?
Toyutende.
Yeah, I would never use that. Yeah, I would never use that.
Right. Yeah.
The fuck? Like, I would never use that.
But there's a question here. Let's see if I can find it again. Not to just be like, hey, this is the fucking Japanese hour.
Well, the Japanese of Jordan. I'll be your host, Jordan.
Yeah. Where was it? It was. Oh, here it is.
Go on.
So the question, I'll read it to you. The question. So the question is, 高田さんが引っ越すというほにゃらら which is the answer
yeah.
を聞いたが本当かどうか気になる。So now your answers are 1. 噂 2. 宣伝 3. 嘘 or 4. 冗談
Wait. Fuck. No, hold on. It could be 1, 3, or 4. Very easily.
100. Yes, 100%.
100%. It can be 1, 3, or 4, and every one of those fits. Because he's asking, is this thing true or not?
Right.
So yeah, is this joke true or not? Is this rumor true or not? Is this, what was the photo? Joke, rumor, lie?
The only one that's like 100% like wrong
It's 2.
is Senden.
Yeah, no, it's not Senden.
But even me, I'm like, well,
I'd say Uwasa.
it is Uelsa.
Hey, I'm fucking sick.
But
Yeah.
like, if I hear the sentence like 高田さんの引っ越すという嘘を聞いたが like, that depends on who Takada-san is. Like, if he's like a Joker type character who's like always telling, you know,
Wow,
fibs and
outrageous
white lies,
stories,
right?
yeah.
Then you're like, well, I don't know what's true or not. So there's like questions like that. Yeah, you wouldn't ask if a joke or a lie is true because you don't know to call it that yet.
Yeah, exactly.
I suppose, yes.
So some of these require like weird logic jumps, less of
Right,
like
you
language.
have to like. To me, that's not a question of like
Language.
what's the correct what's the correct word. It's what's the correct context that you've made for the question.
Here's how I understand the JLPT from what I've taken. So JLPT level 5 is basically, hi, welcome to Japan. Do you know what this is? And you go, Getsu Yobi, and they go, 100%.
Yeah.
You've just passed the kanji test. And they go, what the fuck? Yep, you've done it. You've done it. Well done. And then N4, a little bit more. It's like, hey, can you translate this? And you go, kyou wa kayobi. And you go, ooh, we wanted des. And they go, oh no. And you go, it's okay. That's 95%. And everyone goes, oh, you've done it. Good job. And then the second you get to JLPT level 3, that's when they're like, okay, we're done here. Logical fallacy time. It's now time for you to take the stuff you've learned, not only put it in sentences, put it into sentences that require you to think about the situations you're in and how they are used like in everyday life. This is conversational. That's why the N3 is always said as like a conversational the conversational JLPT exam, basically. No more like one word grammar, no basic sentence. And this is like, do you know how to talk to people in this language in ways that sometimes feel not unnatural, but unnatural in real life, but in textbook definition, natural. You know what I mean?
Right. So like here's some interesting information, right? So it says the JLPT is divided into 5 levels known as N5 through N1. I think everyone knows.
We all know this.
At
Continue.
Point.
Fantastic.
But it says here, and this to me, I was like, maybe that's bullshit, but it could be true. It says N5 is the lowest or easiest level, and it is thought to take 250 to 400 hours of study.
I mean, okay.
The highest level, N1, is expected to take students with no prior kanji knowledge about 3,100 to 4,500 hours of study.
Yeah, that's true.
Every year, the test is taken by about 500 to 750,000 people around the world, with a pass rate of about 70% for N5 and 35% for N1.
Checks out. Yeah, checks out.
So you can see like each level adds a certain amount of kanji, right?
Yeah.
So at N5, it's 80 kanji.
Easy.
Okay.
Easy clap.
At N4, you add 170 more to that 80 kanji.
Okay.
At N3, you're now up to 370 plus what you've already learned. That's a lot. And then N2, the thing is, N3 and N2 add the same amount.
Fuck me, dude.
So I think N3 is a pretty big jump.
It is the biggest jump,
and then N1
biggest.
is like insane. It goes from 380 to 1,136.
Yeah, so from what I remember, looking over the N1 kanji and stuff, when you jump from N4 to N3, you start jumping into like everyday use kanji, things you're going to see like all the time. And then certain kanji that like you see sometimes, but not that often. But
Knowing
it is better.
Kanji that I've seen that I'm like just doing study where I'm like, I've
never seen this in my entire life.
Never seen this in my entire life. Like, I've lived in Japan for 8 years. I've never seen this fucking kanji.
Wait till you get to fucking N1. N1 goes.
Oh yeah,
bro.
Yeah,
N1 is so funny. N1 goes, hey, you've seen our hit albums like Kanji You Never Use and Kanji You've Never Seen Before. Now for our new record, kanji even Japanese people don't understand.
Right. Yeah,
and
there's some stuff like that. Where it's
my friend was
specific.
No, yeah, my friend was studying N1, and then he was doing it in the University of Kent when I was studying there. And at one point he was like, "Oh, I need help. I'm stuck on like this kanji thing. I need like a Japanese person's assistance." So I was like, "Oh, come to the Japanese club. We got like a study circle. You can come and ask someone there." And he gets there. He's got his N1 textbooks, and he sits with this Japanese kid, and he's like, "Hey, could you explain like this kanji to me? How you use it?" The Japanese goes, yeah, okay. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 103 strokes. Okay, yeah. Never seen it before in my entire life. I don't know what the fuck this is. I've never seen this for my entire life.
Chinese.
Yeah, he's like, I'm Japanese, not Chinese. I found that offensive.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, like fucking stupid.
Yeah. So I am fully prepared to just absolutely get obliterated by that test tomorrow.
I was telling you before we started as well, a little bit anyway. I was saying like, it is still good to do the exam just to understand where you sit.
Yeah, where I'm at. I imagine. Oops, no, that's the wrong one. I imagine. Why is it not changing the correct one? There we go. I imagine that it's gonna be a pretty good indicator of like where
you sit, basically.
Where I sit. And it's funny though, because like I took like a practice kanji test, right? Yeah. And there are kind of ways you can cheat the kanji test.
Oh yeah.
Not necessarily cheat, but if you know things about kanji, you can make an educated guess.
That's what I do.
So like one of them was talking about like one of the questions was talking about like doing your laundry or something, right?
Yeah.
And it was like if a leaf, the question was weird. It was like, if a leaf falls into the water, when it lands on the water, it sinks, right?
Okay.
And one of the two of the options were, one is it sinks, and then one is it drowns, right? And I'm like, oh, you sneaky fuckers. Like,
you little shit.
But there's things that, if there's like a certain radical in the thing, like I saw immediately there's one that had like a radical with a person.
Oh,
and I'm like,
drowned. Yeah.
I'm like, that's weird.
That's weird
because
why is there a person why is there a person in this lake? Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Like, but it's transitive and intransitive verbs too, right? Yep. Where like in the case of drowned, it's like an action that is currently being foisted upon by an agent, whereas sinking is going to happen regardless of like if something
any agent putting on basically.
Right? But there's other stuff too. Like most of the time when it would like involve water, I'd look at the answers and I'm like, okay, which one of these has the radical for water in it? It's probably that one.
That's probably the answer, yeah. And then you get to a state where two will have the radical for water, and you're like, okay, which one has the second radical connected to the thing I'm talking about? Oh, this one has a radical for person, as you said. Can't be that one. Can't be that one.
There are ways that you can like make educated guesses. Obviously, it's not like 100% foolproof,
but it works most of the time. And you don't need to be right 100% of the time.
You need to be right just enough.
Yeah, enough to pass, basically. Yeah. And when you're going through, you're not guessworking every question. You're gonna know the solid answer to most of the questions. And for some, you're gonna be like, okay, you have to take a while and guess on this one.
I'm wondering how I'm gonna do. What percentage is passing on the JLPT? I assume I don't know, actually. I would assume it's like 70 or something.
What percentage to pass on the JLPT?
A pass, the overall pass mark depends on the level. Okay.
Oh my god, JLPT 4, you only need 90 points out of 180.
Yeah, so
that's crazy.
Varies between 100 out of 180 so for N1, the passing grade is 55.55%.
Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah.
and 80 out of 180, so 44.44 for N5. So you can only know 40% of the N5 stuff, and that's considered a pass. So,
I would learn more
but
than
that makes sense because the Japanese have designed the test to be an actual test, right?
Yeah, that's true.
When you're designing a test that's supposed to test proficiency, you should have questions on the test that are beyond what is expected.
Yeah, exactly. Also, N3 total points, you need 95 points total out of 180.
Right. So about 50%.
About 50-ish%. I think, for those who don't know, it's broken into 3 parts. I believe it's a vocabulary, grammar, and kanji makes up the test. So out of those 3 schools, you need to have 95 points in total, basically. So you can really bomb a test and really like excel at another part.
It seems like so the total possible, it says, is 180. Each section is 60 points. But I think this is older because I don't think that the listening section is 60 points.
No,
because there's vocabulary and grammar are now separated, and I know that for a fact because it's separated in the test books, and this one specifically is a previous test. I know that for a fact.
I'm looking at. Oh yeah. So there is language knowledge, which is vocabulary and grammar, and that's out of 60.
And then there's bunpo.
Yeah,
which is grammar.
Yeah, then there's reading, that's out of 60, and then listening, that's out of 60.
Which is weird that there's a reading section because I feel like all of it is reading.
It's all basically reading, yeah.
But sure, but it is long. Like I'm looking at the times for each section. So like I have my thingy here.
You little.
So
come to this place at this time.
Yeah. Sheet. So the vocabulary section is the moji and goe. Is from 12:30 to 1:15.
I'm sorry, what?
That's one section.
Okay, fuck off. Okay, go on.
The grammar section and reading section is from 1:45 to 3:10.
Holy shit. Wait, what the fuck? How long is it? Wait, why is it so long?
And then the listening section is from 3:40 to 5:35.
No.
It is like a 5-hour fucking test.
No. When I'm done, can I go?
No,
you
you have to sit there because like they specifically say like if you stand up and the proctor has like not dismissed you, instant fail.
What the fuck? Japan, relax. I don't think I'm gonna need all that time to finish some of these tests. So when I'm done, can I just like take a nap or something? I assume people are just gonna be napping in the room.
Do you want me to read all the rules?
Yeah, go on. I want to know the rules. Go on. What are the rules?
Here's the rules. This entire
Jesus Christ.
2 pages.
Okay,
and
fuck.
I'll hold it up to the camera because you won't be able to read it. It's a lot of fucking text.
Tiny.
Look how much text that is.
Holy
2 whole pages of information about like shit you shouldn't do.
It's not that. It's a language test. It's not that deep. Like, what the fuck, guys? Relax.
So,
go on, David. Read me the rules.
An examinee who demonstrates any of the behavior 1 through 10 listed below will be shown a yellow card by the proctor.
Will be shot on spot.
If the proctor shows an examinee the yellow card for a second time in one section, the examinee will be disqualified and dismissed. All of the examinee's test sections will then be invalidated. Answers will not be scored, and the test result will not be sent.
Gotcha. Football rules. Cool. Continue.
Right. 1. Opening the question booklet or starting the answer to the questions before the instruction to start. Look, fair.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Sure.
No flying starts. Yeah, cool.
Allowing your electronic devices such as a mobile phone, smartphone, smartwatch to sound, ring, or vibrate, or chime, or alarm during the time associated for instructions. So if your phone goes off,
you're done.
Yellow card.
Yellow card. Yeah.
Speaking without permission. Okay. Giving answers to examinees. Okay.
I mean, yeah, of course.
Using gestures, they specify.
Okay.
Finding out answers from other examinees, looking at another examinee's answer. So
makes
don't
sense.
cheat. Okay.
Don't cheat.
Fine. That makes sense.
I mean, did they not watch Naruto, bro? Tuning in.
Yeah. Continuing to write on the answer sheet after the instructor has given the instructions to stop writing, not handing in the answer sheet at the time of collection.
Why wouldn't you hand in your answer sheet?
Because you might be able to take it into the reading section and be like, oh, okay, this is what this meant, so then I can fill in an answer on my previous thing.
That makes sense. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Any attempt to copy the contents of the question booklet or answer sheet onto something else.
Yeah, makes sense.
So stealing the test.
Don't
The
steal
proctor
test.
considers you to be engaged in behavior that disturbs other examinees.
Yeah, makes
Eating
sense.
or drinking during the test.
Water? No water?
Nope.
No water?
Nope.
Fuck, Japan is
Smoking at places other than specified.
So-
I don't know why you're smoking in the test, but sure.
That's one of those rules that someone broke that rule, and they were like, okay, we gotta.
They're just like, I'm done now.
It's like, put your pencils down. Pencil goes down. Tobacco goes up,
Yep.
baby. Let's go. Like, someone's definitely smoked enough
Oh,
times.
we're not done
in
yet.
areas. We're not done yet.
That's only 1 through 10.
Lord have. Okay,
We have
continue.
11 through 17.
Jesus Christ. Continue.
Okay. So
Wow.
any behavior in 11 through 17 will result in a red card, and the examinee
fail.
will be dismissed.
They've ranked there. Okay, go on.
It's weird that they mention this again, but allowing your electronic devices such as
Wait.
mobile phones, smartphones to sound or chime is a insta red card. So turn your shit off.
Was it yellow or red then?
Well, apparently it's both.
I guess the examiner can decide how disturbing it's been or something. Okay, fair enough. Continue.
Referring to cheat sheets? Okay.
Yeah.
Writing numbers or characters on the clothing or any part of your body.
Cheat sheets. Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Taking the question booklets or answer sheets out of the examination room.
Yeah, I get it. Don't
Copying
do
the contents, yeah.
Yeah.
The person taking the test is not the person registered on the test voucher. I don't know
No
how that's
fucking
possible.
way.
You'd fucking know.
that. Your photos on
My
it.
photos on it. So unless you have a twin who's really fucking good at Japanese, that's not gonna happen.
I just give a Japanese guy my hair, and I'm like, "Hey, buddy, take this test for me." Like, what the fuck?
Marking answers on someone else's sheet. I don't know how you're gonna.
How would you
are
do that?
Fucking Mr. Fantastic, where you're reaching across the hall.
Mr. Tickle, what the fuck? You're stretching over.
And leaving the examination room at the end of the test without permission before the proctor says they have finished checking the answer sheet and question booklet. So I guess they check to see that you've
for your day, whatever. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of things, but that's kind of like standard test fare, I think, for the most part. But it seems
not
like
terrible,
it's really weird that someone's done every single one of those things because they've had to
100%.
write it in the thing.
100%. Yeah. Someone has definitely gone in with I believe in America and some universities in Japan, you can have like a cheat sheet in your exam. Do you know about this?
Yeah.
So I guess that there's going to be certain people who are like, oh, this is similar to like an American exam. I can bring in like a cheat sheet with all the answers on it, basically. Bro, like I think I've never discussed. I've like spoke about this for like ages ago, but like to this day, still the concept of an open book exam blows me away. Like it's crazy to me.
Yeah, that's
Crazy to me. Like imagine you're taking the N3 and they're like, oh, it's an open book exam. Here's you can bring in your
Jisho.
Your Jisho. I'm like, okay, so
Even then, like I feel like bringing in your Jisho is still not that like
helpful.
No, because you're gonna spend if you don't know, you're gonna
yeah.
spend a lot of your time just looking stuff up.
I think it then works out to how good you are at taking tests. Because if I had a Jisho next to me, I'd smash it. Because what I'll do is I'll go through the test once, smash all the things I know how to do like perfectly, and then go through it again and do all the ones I'm kind of like, that I need the Jisho to help out. Then I'll go through a third and like people saying, you can have time to do that? Yeah, I'm a test-taking king. Like, tests are easy. You you go through tests at least twice. You burn through it once. You do all the ones you're 100% confident on. Any that you're like, I don't do, skip it. Come back to it when you're done. You don't know anyway, so wasting time. You burn through it, then you go through it again, and you're done. Tests are easy. I mean, as long as you know what you're doing. Taking tests are easy. I can't speak to the content of the test. Because imagine like you burn through a test and you're like, oh, excellent. I know nothing.
And then you immediately you're like, oh, I failed. Great.
Oh, great, I failed. That's a bad feeling. I've had that. I've gone through a test and be like, ooh.
Yeah. I've heard of what Dan describes. He said I've only had that for physics and calculus, which let us bring in formula sheets since it doesn't matter.
I get that, yeah.
If you don't know how to use the formula.
Yes, no, I get that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think math as well. They do something similar where they're like, oh, you can bring in like a little sheet of all the equations or whatever. Because if you didn't study the equations, you don't know where they go. Basically, like it doesn't matter. You can have them. Who cares? Like,
Right.
It's still a matter of like how much you've studied for the exam, basically. But yeah, David, you're gonna do grandly exam tomorrow. Don't even worry about it.
I'm just more annoyed that the exam is like fucking 5 hours long.
Yeah,
like that's fucking unnecessary.
That's kind of the only reason I've not taken a JLPT so far, because a 5 hour long exam, that's my entire day gone. And it's always on a Sunday as well, right?
Yes.
It's always on a Sunday.
Yeah. Which, if fine, but I think that's mostly because like they know that you're
no
gonna
one does
be
work. Yeah,
free to take it.
I don't. I would appreciate if they would split the exam up over like 3 days. That'd be great. You know, once a year, twice a year. Once a year, have the big exam, 5 hours, get it done, and then just one year be like, hey, we're gonna split it up 3 days a week. Just come in, take the exam, do it online.
I just wonder, like, I don't know if every single one are on a Sunday.
Most, yeah.
I would assume that they are, but
From what I've heard, yeah, most. That's interesting. I find it interesting how aggressively the JLPT is about making all these rules about not cheating and stuff. It's a language test, so when it comes down to it,
right,
if you cheat on a language test successfully, and let's say I pass JLPT level 1 by cheating, and I go to an interview and I'm like, oh, I have JLPT 1, and they ask me anything and I can't answer it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally, like, apply for a job in pure Japanese, and I'm like, I've got the JLPT 1, and I go to the interview, and they're like, konnichiwa, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You say to me, like...
I mean, like, if your job is, like, you know, kind of back end and all you need to do is read and write, then I guess you're okay. But if you have to deal with customers, not being able to speak is, like...
It's a big thing, yeah.
But again, like, if you know how to write the test and, like, take the test and do the test, you probably know how to speak.
You probably know how to speak.
Probably. I would imagine so.
There are certain people that have got, like, JLPT 3 and 4, like, 3 and 2 and 3, and they can barely speak. Like, I've met people who have JLPT 2, and they cannot speak. Because you remember, the exam doesn't test your speaking abilities.
No, zero. None. There's literally no section for it.
It only tests your listening abilities. It tests your, like, your kanji, your grammar knowledge, blah, blah, blah. So I've been at bars where I'm, like, wandering around and talking to people in this bar, and I'm, like, drinking with people and having a good time, and people are like, oh my god, Japanese is great. Do you have JLPT 1? And I'm like, I have no JLPTs because I can't be bothered to study and get them. And they'll be like, oh, I have JLPT 2. And you're like, fantastic. You should also be talking to people. And they're like, oh, my speaking isn't good. I'm like, you have JLPT 2. So, like, I feel like it has to be some kind of, like, a mental block.
Maybe.
Or, like, you've just not been practicing your output enough. You know what I mean? Because you have the input, clearly. Like, you understand sentence structure better than I do. Your listening's good enough to pass JLPT 2 where you can, like, walk into a room, you understand what everyone's saying.
Right.
So in that case, I'm always like, how do you not get the output as well?
I mean, that's the problem that I have too. Is, like, I have a problem with the output. I think
hard,
like in most cases, I'm, like, kind of okay with stuff coming in.
Yeah.
But anything going out, I find is difficult. Or, like, it's not that I don't know what I need to use. It's that I don't know in the moment. Like, there's, like, like, I overcomplicate what I need to say.
Yes. And then it comes out really, like, slow or weird or, like, broken or something. Or not at all, to be fair.
Right.
This is, like, I've always said, from the beginning, I'm like, when you first start sort of speaking Japanese after, like, studying for a bunch, it's just about, like, throwing things out. Like, you just force things out via input, and things aren't going to make sense to you at first, and you're going to, like, make a ton of mistakes. And it doesn't matter because, like, people are nice enough to, like, know what you're saying, so they'll respond, and eventually you'll be able to, like, sort of, they'll be able to, like, you'll be able to sort of correct yourself as you're talking, basically. So it's not terrible, but it just means you could do a lot of output, which is kind of difficult when you have no one to practice with.
Yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm in the place where the output should be easy, but
slowly, so practice. It's got to be putting more output out, basically.
Yep,
that shit.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Good luck tomorrow, dude. I believe in you.
We'll see how it goes.
Glad you're feeling a little bit better. I was gonna touch on something as well. You said before that you were at a stage of life where you felt like things weren't coming together.
Yeah, well, like, things weren't where I feel like they should be, and, like, maybe that's just mostly because I'm like, man, I got no money now. Because, like, you know, hey, when you spend an entire year not working and you pay rent every month,
surprise,
food and whatever, right, and your phone and internet and electricity and whatever, that money disappears, right?
Annoyingly so.
Yeah, but, like, yeah, it's just I think, like, it's been a little bit of a shock recently with, like, the visa stuff and then, like, you know, that's on top of whatever. I think the reason why I said that like I don't think that my life is where it needs to be necessarily, is because when I'm thinking about like, okay, for example, right?
Go on.
Last job I had, not the one at the most recent school, but like the previous one where I was like working full time as like a homeroom teacher, right? Once that one finished, right, I should have immediately looked for another job, but I kind of just was like, I got money, whatever.
I don't want to.
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to.
But more recently, it's to the point where like I think maybe this is just where people are in general. I don't think it's just me. No. I think a lot of people feel this way, but I'm just kind of like numb to everything. Like it's like I should be looking for a job, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I should be doing something and I know I have to do it. But the day comes to a close and I just go, I don't care.
Yeah.
Bad things are going to happen and I just go, I don't care. And it's like mentally it's weird. Mentally, I know that that's fucked up, but at the same time, it's just like I just feel numb. Like it's not even like I'm sad or like I'm happy or like I'm worried or something. It's just nothing.
And that's like I think that's a really bad place, as you know probably a very bad place to get to. Like when you start feeling like numb to everything, not good.
Yeah,
that's a signifier of definitely like big changes need to be happening in the future. Because at least it's not as bad to the extent where you're not connecting the dots. You know what I mean? You're not sitting there numb, being like, I don't know why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what I need to do.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's important.
The issue is that I just go. I just don't. Not that I don't want to do it. It's just that
you don't care.
I don't care. It's like, whatever, right? Like,
do you think it's because you've lost enthusiasm for the jobs that you're currently looking for? Do you think that's it?
No, I don't think that's the case, because when I was teaching at the Christian school, I was like actually like happy to be back in the classroom and teaching again.
Okay, that's good then, yeah.
So it's not that specifically. It's just like I'm just kind of tired of all the other rigmarole around everything else, right?
Yes.
So like, for example, right?
Yes.
I'd applied to a couple other jobs, and I'd gone to interviews for them.
Wonderful.
Some of them like second and third interviews for.
Excellent.
And then by the end, it's like, sorry, we're picking someone else, right? And like that is fucking soul crushing in a different way. But it gets to the point where I'm just like, why try anymore? I give up. Like I put in all the effort to do all this shit, and especially when it's like companies who are like, oh, can you come in on short notice? Oh, can you, like, I feel like I'm doing more than I should have to do.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But I'll do it anyway. And then at the end of that, there's just no reward there. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
So then my feeling is like, well, why
have I done this?
Try? Because you know, the next time, what's going to be different? It's just the amount of demoralization where I'm just like, I can't fucking stomach this anymore. And like, and it's like, I don't care. Okay, well, whatever. I don't have a job. I don't care. Oops.
It's definitely going to be a case of then, like, when you are, I think I had something similar. Like when I was looking for work, when I was doing the big career transition thing, I think I had something very similar where I was going through like interview after interview after interview. And at this time I was like doing some freelance work. I was doing like some writing stuff on the side, but I had no like secure income, and I didn't have savings. So I was like, I have a time crunch to get this done.
And that's kind of where I'm at too right now.
The time crunch good, because I remember I was like, I have 2 months of rent and maybe like a couple weeks of food, and I have like a giant bag of pasta and rice. I have enough. I'm not gonna die, but I do need to get new employment like as soon as fucking possible, kind of thing. And when you're like in that situation and you're going to interviews and you're running around Tokyo and you're like fucking doing all this, like jumping all these hoops, and at the end they're just like, nah.
Yeah. And it's
annoying.
It's demoralizing too when it's through just like an email too.
Oh, dude, fuck that.
Because like everything is through email, right? Or it's not even like through. If it was like on a call through Zoom and they're like, yeah, we're with someone else. Here's why we didn't pick you. Blah blah blah. when it's just an email that goes, we decided to pick someone else. Thanks for your support. Blah 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 blah.
Nonsense.
Fuck you, right? I just go, like, and it's just like I have to turn off my emotions because
Otherwise,
at some point you have to just keep pushing through.
you have to, yeah.
But it's had the knock-on effect of like now I just don't care about fucking anything,
which is very so you've taken it way too far. You've really got to like pull that in a little bit, especially when I was going through applying for multiple jobs, like trying to like jump careers. It was like going to a job interview, then being like, you're great, you're amazing, you have all the skills we want, and I'm like, great, sounds great, can't wait to start. And they go, but this is Japan and your last job wasn't exactly this,
right?
So no. And you go for it so many times that eventually you're like, this fucking sucks, dude. Like, am I not? Because you're telling me I'm perfect for this role.
Right. You get like weird fucking imposter syndrome.
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
like,
It's fucking weird.
I'm qualified for this job. You agree that I'm qualified for this job. We interviewed for this job, and then you go, no.
Nah. Fucking, it's honestly annoying. As much as easy as it is to like sort of numb yourself off to like the situation, I think it is about trying to change your mindset going forward a bit. So
well, and that's what when I talked with Chihiro too last night, the way I was viewing the test too was like, I kind of at this point have like accepted the fact that like no matter how I do or take this test, ultimately I'm probably gonna fail, and like that's just reality. That's not like I'm so bad, I'm really down on like. I'm smart enough to know what I don't know,
yes,
and I don't know enough to pass.
Yes,
like I'm not gonna mince words.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah.
So, but in my mind, it's like, I should be here, and I'm not.
Right? I see what you're saying.
Like it's more of like a self-validation thing, where like I should be good enough to have N3, and I'm not, and it's kind of like it feels like a failure on my end of like, well, why aren't you there?
I see what you're saying, yeah. But I don't have N3 as well.
That's true, but you've never taken the test either.
Because I got me fucked, yeah. But then I know for a fact if I took the test, I would probably fail. 100%. I know I'm better than N3. I know that because I use Japanese every day at work. I know that because I have business meetings in Japanese. I know because I've dealt with and deal with domestic clients in Japanese. I know my level. My level is great. I'm fucking sick. If I take N3 tomorrow, I'm going to fail. 100% I'm going to fail. Because the language I possess is hyper specific to what I do every day at work, to how I live every day, living, working in Japan. I got a shakusho. I got no problem dealing with like fucking governmental tasks. We're going to be okay, I'm going to fail the N3. 100% I'm going to fail the N3. I don't have the knowledge that test wants me to have. And that's where you are.
Yeah.
You have enough knowledge to live in the country. You're not... Sorry, I'm really sorry for anyone living in Japan who's currently dealing with this. I do apologize. But you're not one of those people living in Japan who's like, honey, a letter came in and it says something about men show...
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, what I'm saying? You're not like, darling, I gotta go renew my license. Could you hold my dick and help me?
Oh, I actually, now that I think about it, I probably have to renew my Minkyushu or whatever
probably.
it's called.
And when you do it, you're gonna do it by your fucking self. You're just gonna go and get it done.
Well, yeah, my wife can't take the fucking test.
Let me fucking go. It's so fucking, and that's my fucking point.
When do I
like,
need to renew this? I probably should look at it.
I gotta renew my Zaru card as well next year. I got shit to do tax wise, bro. Like fuck.
It might actually be out of 2026. Okay,
no, you're fine.
We're good.
You're good.
We're good for another year.
You're good. Same. It's that basically.
Yeah.
It's like it is the knowledge you've gained in this country is stuff that you use every day. It's stuff that like it's stuff other people don't have by just not paying attention living in the country.
Right.
N3 is like they want you to know a certain type of Japanese.
I feel like N3 is like where I should be though, like minimum.
Yeah, probably. Everyone should be N3 minimum. Eventually, I'm gonna have to sit down, crack open the N3 textbooks, and learn the Japanese that the JLPT N3 wants me to learn. Because when it comes down to it, it's good Japanese.
Well, there's definitely
it's stuff that you should know.
There's definitely shit that like I've seen in the textbook where I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
like I have no idea where this comes from or like where I'd ever use it. Like there's like specifically the one I'm thinking of because it was what's it called? It came up when I was studying is ageru, but to mean like
ageru.
No. It means like
ageru.
Nope.
Ageru?
Yeah. So verb plus ageru.
Nanjara ageru.
So it'd be like something like what I think like mizu o nomi ageru.
Oh, to like help someone drink water?
No. I've completely drank all of the water. The action of drinking is now finished.
No fucking way. Are you serious?
Yeah.
What a cool little verb.
Stuff like
Hell
that.
yeah,
right.
dude.
So like, but it's stuff like that where
I don't fucking know. But something that's interesting. That's my point about N3. It's like, it's interesting ways to make sentences that improve the way that you can use and speak the language of Japanese, basically. So, like, if I smashed an N3 textbook and learned all it has to teach me, would my Japanese improve? Of course it would. Studying an N4 textbook would improve my Japanese. Studying anything would improve your Japanese. Studying's about, basically, you know, you don't be able to retain all that knowledge constantly unless you're updating it with, you know, new and renewed knowledge. That's how language works. If you don't input, you're going to lose the output, basically.
Right.
So, like, when it comes to things like learning that those weird new structures, that's kind of stuff that unless you sit down and learn it, you're never going to use it.
Yeah, because
I've never heard of that in my life.
There you go. Right? It's like
I've never heard of it in my entire life.
But that'll be on the test, or it has the possibility to appear.
Yeah. But I feel like that's that. You know, you're saying during in a test, there's like 50% of stuff that they need to know and 50% for the higher ups.
Right.
I think that's what that is.
Maybe. It could be. Who knows?
Who knows? I'm not proxying the test. I don't know.
Right, yeah, exactly.
I'm not Mr. JLPT.
Exactly.
I'm not Dan JLPT. I don't fucking know.
So,
like,
so now I've kind of like changed my outlook on it where I'm more like, okay, this is not a test that necessarily you need to pass to like validate why you're here. Like I think more to me at the time, it was more I was looking at the test as a way because like I said, I was having like, you know, feelings of like, oh, like my life has not turned out the way I feel it out,
yeah.
But I feel like probably everyone feels like that
to
some extent.
Every now and again, yeah.
To where it's like, oh, well, this will validate why I'm still here if I pass, right?
Yeah,
now I know it's like, oh, well, you actually do know Japanese. You can do more or whatever. But really, it's not. It's fucking not.
It's not. It's not. It's a JLPT test. It's gonna do none of that. Like even if you pass with flying colors tomorrow, you wouldn't have the validation of, look at this, I've done it.
Right. I mean, even people who passed N1, like I feel like even to Japanese people or like companies and stuff or like people that are gonna hire you, like they're like, cool, that's nice, that's kind of all the recognition you get anyway.
The last time I was asked about the JLPT exams was in my company now, when it was during the Japanese part of the interview, when the English interview, Japanese part interview, English interview, Japanese interview. In the Japanese interview, they were like, so do you have, if you passed the JLPT? And I'm like, no. And they go, okay, anyway. And they just moved on.
Right.
That's what it amounts to. It amounts to a single question in an interview where they go, and also those interviews are already in Japanese. And they go, have you passed this thing? And you go, yes. And they go, cool. Good. Send us a certificate. And you go, okay. Or they go, have you passed? And you go, no. And they go, okay. In that case, you have nothing to send us. And I go, right. Fantastic.
Yeah.
By not passing, I now have less work to do.
Right. Because now they're
Checkmate.
Like, we probably don't want to trust you with stuff that could be sensitive, but like realistically, it doesn't matter all that
doesn't
much.
Matter. No one cares.
Matter. So now I kind of have like a different outlook on it where it's just like, this is just a measuring stick.
It is. And listen, we're men. We like a good measuring stick. But at the same time, this one particular measuring stick shouldn't be used to judge our time living in Japan.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah.
I think you're also saying about like the career thing I found very interesting because I think what you're currently going through is what every person I know who lives in Japan has gone through one point or another.
It's
wild.
I actually think that like talking to Chihiro, it's not just me.
No, it's everyone.
It's Japanese people as well.
Yeah.
Where they're like, there's nothing going fucking on here, like right now. Like the economy is bad,
Dog
so
shit. Yep.
just nothing's going on. Because she was talking to her friends too, who are Japanese people who speak Japanese who live in Japan, and they're like, I can't find fucking shit to do because it just does not exist. So I'm like, okay, well, like good to know that it's not just me.
No, it's everyone. But you do have the added bonus of because you are an international person living in Japan, you can do a lot of like freelance English teaching
and that's
work
basically
and
what
stuff that like
that's
people
basically
can't do.
what I'm doing because like
Great,
I got an email today about going to teach a course at a school, and they're paying me $30 an hour.
Yeah, do it. Take advantage.
I've already taken it. But like I'm saying, like it's kind of weird where like I was kind of okay with what we were doing at the other school, and now it's the only annoying thing is like I have to go to like 8 different places because all of the things are different spots. So that's kind of annoying. But if you're gonna pay me $30 an hour,
I'll take it.
Okay, sure.
I'll take it easily.
Like that seems pretty good.
That is always
$30 an hour in yen, not USD.
I still take it though. That's still a thing that I do find very interesting about living and working in Japan, especially when you're like an international person here. Like you have, especially for me personally, coming from the UK, so I can only speak from my experiences. But there's no work in London. I mean, very very straightforward, very clear cut. There's not enough jobs in London that are going to pay you a decent living wage, and London is so expensive and so hard to live in. Even if you find that job, good luck existing on the salary it's going to provide you. Like, it's hard out here. My friend just got a new job, and it took her like a month and a half to find that new job. I know you're thinking, month and a half, that's not that long, it's pretty good. She was applying for like 30 to 40 jobs a day.
A day.
For a month and a half, 30 to 40 jobs. Like, applying for jobs became her new job. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. And so she's like, oh my God, are you like, when I quit my job, she was like, oh, how are you doing? Are you like applying for a shit ton of jobs? I'm like, I apply for like 3 and then I get like 3 emails back. Like, it's pretty sick. Like, and that's Japan basically. There's not enough international speakers here who are qualified to do much outside of AOT low-level teachings. With David with his actual teaching degree, with me with the qualifications I have, living in Japan is a lot easier for us than it is for other people, especially if I'm taking like our home countries into account, basically, you know.
The teaching degree ironically has helped me a lot because it allows me to get foot in the door to places that typically I would not be able to.
Oh yeah,
like they're like, oh, you actually have a teaching degree, like kind of fuck everyone else.
Yeah,
because
pretty much.
You're gonna actually know what the fuck you're doing, whether or not.
Yeah,
like a teaching degree doesn't mean shit. A teaching degree just means I went to school.
Hell yeah,
right? Like, I guarantee you there are 50 gajillion people who are way better fucking teachers, way more passionate teachers than me. And I know some of them from personal experience, right? So, like, I've met them. I know these people exist.
But they ain't got a degree, dickheads.
Yeah, and that's basically what it boils down to, right?
Yeah,
like,
pretty much.
Like, legally, I think, like, a lot of schools are like, well, we can't really hire you as a teacher because technically you're not.
Oh, yeah. I think, Jay's new job as well, not to completely like talk about what Jay's doing, I'll bring him on, he can talk about himself when he's here, but I know he's got a new job working in the school, and the school was basically like, we're going to expedite this process to get you the teaching qualifications you need so you can become like a main teacher in the school, because I think currently he's doing like co-teacher stuff. I mean, he can talk about himself, he's in the Discord all the time, but anyway, so like they had to expedite that process to get him the qualifications he needs, or like the fucking certificate he needs to become like a main teacher. And a lot of schools won't do that for teachers. Like, he's in a really good situation. But if I personally like applied for a random international school and I was like, hey guys, I want to work here, they'll be like, get the fuck out. Where's your teaching degree? Where's your qualifications? Where's your something? You know, I'm unqualified to work at places that you can work at. And I feel then your problem is the place that you're applying for, especially ones that want you to have that teaching degree, you're facing against other cunts that have teaching degrees and who've worked.
It's more competitive.
Way more competitive. Because those jobs, there's not a lot of them.
No, there isn't. There's not. Yeah, there's not a lot of them. Mm-mm. And then people that do have them are anytime that they pop up. I bet you it's probably like in Tokyo. I bet you at any job that requires you to have a teaching degree.
Oh yeah.
I bet you if I've applied for it, that like the same 5 to 10 people
100%,
probably applied
100%.
for it.
I guarantee there's like 50 teachers living in Japan that have teaching degrees that are looking for jobs currently, that when a job comes up that's like teaching degree, the schools are getting the same 50 applications just over and over and over again. It's constantly.
It's also weird too, because like I don't want to talk about working forever, but is that the issue too is that a lot, I'm going to just come out and say it, a lot of fucking schools, international or not, are shady as fuck.
Yes.
Yeah. Extremely so.
Yeah.
To where when I go to the Christian school that I worked at, I'm like, wow, like this is like
Gates.
This is the least shady school, like to where I feel like at the end of the day I'm gonna get paid because there's some kind of moral fabric that exists here. I don't know if that's the Christian part. Maybe it is. Who knows? But like, you know, you look at other schools and how they're run, because like I've been to other international schools. I've interviewed for them. Like I've gone around their campuses, and I'm just like, yo, this seems kind of sketch.
Mine was sketch. The one international like school I worked at, they had me sign like a West Tokyo contract and then had me shipped around the entirety of Tokyo. I think I had like 2 schools in West Tokyo and then like 9 schools in the rest of Tokyo that wasn't West Tokyo. And then when I spoke to them about it, I was like, hey guys, we signed the West Tokyo contract. What the fuck is this? They were like, hey, sometimes we make a mistake. Sometimes not West Tokyo and sometimes East Tokyo. And, some of your schools might not be in West Tokyo. I'm like, none of my schools are in West Tokyo. What are you talking about? Like, that's the level of, like, shady shit you do of, like, some of these schools.
Right. Like, once you sign a contract and they have you kind of locked in, then it's like, I don't know.
Jokes on them might cost them money, dickheads.
Yeah,
like, fucked, bro. Don't fuck around. When I left that school, so many kids also left their shitty after school programs that gave them money, and I was like, yeah, get fucked, bro. Like, absolutely fucking get fucked. Did I do a lot? I don't think it did any real damage to the company, but still, I was like, good, fuck you. Like,
it's fine. I don't know if I mentioned this to you before, but the school the Christian school I worked at, one of the classes I taught had a kid in it that was in my homeroom when I taught. So I was like,
way.
What happened to the other school while you're here now?
Fucking way. Seriously?
I kind of probed him, and he's like, yeah, after our year when we went into 6th grade or whatever, after 6th grade, everybody left.
Fuck.
And I was like,
holy shit.
I wonder why.
Yeah, because of dog shit illegal school. That's why everyone left. Good, get fucked.
Dude, there's shit that's happened at that school, because like I hear from other people who work there and whatever.
Spill the tea.
Okay, so here's like the most fucked up way to get fired, right? Not fired, but like we're not renewing your contracts, but fuck you, we're not going to tell you.
Yeah, these guys. Okay, yeah. Oh,
so
cunts. Yeah, go on.
Music teacher.
Yeah.
She came in late the year that I worked there.
Awesome.
So she had been there for maybe like a couple months. And I guess like by the time that she heard about this, she's getting around time to renew her contract. Mm-hmm. Fair, cool, whatever, right? And it hasn't been renewed. And I'm like, sounds familiar, because that's exactly what the fuck happened to every one of us that didn't get their thing renewed. Mm-hmm. So it's getting around Christmas time when you gotta renew your contract or whatever, right? And she goes to, I don't know if it was the principal or the VP or whatever, and she's like, she's under the assumption that she's gonna be working next year, right?
Of course, yeah.
So she goes to ask the VP or the principal. She's like, hey, for she goes, hey, for next year, like what do you want done with the curriculum? What do you want done with this? And the answer that came back was, well, that needs to be discussed between the music teacher and the principal. And she goes, what do you mean?
What do you mean? Yeah.
And they're like, oh, no, with the new music teacher and the principal. And she's like, what? I am the music teacher. What the fuck are you talking about? So, like, it was an offhand comment where she found out she was definitely...
Shit.
Other people knew that she was not getting her
Holy
shit renewed.
fucking shit.
And they hadn't fucking told her. And someone just made this offhand comment of like, oh, well, that'll be between the new teacher and
the principal.
To where she's like, well, what the fuck do you mean?
Holy fuck. Wait, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This school is fucked up. Holy shit.
Yep.
No way.
Like,
Oh
just
my God.
real fucking scumbag shit.
Real scumbag behavior. Like, wow. Oh, dude, I would so, I would not teach, but I'd be so pissed off.
But
I'd be so
I found
pissed
something else. Also, that was weird. Do you know Emily and why can I remember his name?
I do, but yeah.
What's his name? His name is...
He just left Japan.
Yes, he just left Japan. Why can I remember his name? I feel so bad. He might be listening to this episode. Why? Like, it escapes my brain for some reason.
I know he's cool.
I apologize.
I'm allowed to forget. I'm bad with names.
I don't know why I think it's Michael. It's definitely 100,000% not Michael.
I don't remember. Anyway, continue. I'll find it. Continue.
Yes. But at their school, one of my old coworkers is now the head of their science program.
Okay.
And like, it just so happened that it was like, oh yeah, like I sent a text message to Emily and I'm like, do you know this person? And she's like, oh yeah, I love her. She's like the head of
she's head of science
program.
We love her.
Now.
Yeah.
I'm like, weird. I worked with her for
a year
at this school.
At Shady International.
I'm like, small world. Because like I didn't realize that she had went to go work at their school.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was like, huh, weird, small world.
I think that's kind of point proven that there's not that many international position schools that have actually good. Yeah, like just like barely in there, especially that require like teaching degrees. There's like barely any, dude.
Joe. I don't know. I knew it was like a very common name, like
Sorry,
Mike
Joe.
or Stan or Joe.
Yeah.
Joe. Sorry, Joe.
We love Joe here.
Yeah, he would know her as well. I just found that very strange that one day they're just like, oh yeah, I work at this school, and I'm like, oh, weird.
I feel like everyone's just passing shady school to shady school until they finally find like a good international school, basically.
Yep.
It's not bad at all. Right, dude. I think you're just kind of at a weird crossroads now.
Mm-hmm.
You have to find that next position, a good little job.
I'm just hoping that, by the end of this month, I had enough money to pay rent.
Hell yeah, baby. That's all we can ask.
Which is like, I mean, I got the money from last work time, which is going to be over like
more than enough, yeah.
Yeah, it's like $3.5 grand or something.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Dude, but
plus whatever I'm doing at the end of this month. But that'll be for August. So like that's the one thing that's weird about Japan is like all of your pay is delayed. It's not like they just hand it to you at the door and be like, okay, bye.
I hate it. I really hate it. Especially doing freelance. If you forget to hand an invoice in on time for those doing freelance, your pay gets delayed.
Don't do that. That's bad.
It's not good. It's bad. Like my pay's been delayed before, like freelance, because I forgot to hand like an invoice in because I thought they were doing it because that's kind of how things are done normally. And they were like, no, wait for your invoice. And I was like, but I did the work. I don't get it. Right. Okay, fine, whatever, dude. Fuck. So stupid. I had to wait an extra month for my pay. Really fucked up my financial plans, but
it is
what it is basically.
So what do you got planned for the future, or what do you want to do next week?
For the future, big future or immediate future?
I mean, let's keep it to like half a year.
Oh my god. Okay, fuck me. I have actual ridiculous things to discuss. So the plan currently going forward is probably moving in September.
Okay.
So I can't say where I'm moving to because my current apartment has already been doxed to shit. People know where I fucking live. People know.
Yeah, because you fucking tell people.
Yeah, I tell people. Shit. Bro, okay, wait. This fucking killed me. Last week, okay. There's an American family, like half American, half Japanese family, living right at the bottom of my road. It's like you leave my station and you just keep walking straight. until you can't walk anymore. The road suddenly stops, and they live down there in like a weird cul-de-sac area, okay? And it's like these Japanese elementary school kids, like half Japanese, half American. They speak fluent American, fluent Japanese. Really cool. I'm on my balcony one day, chilling, drinking a coffee, hanging out, and all I hear is, "Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning." And I'm like, who the fuck is screaming? Who the fuck? I look over. It's a little fucking half Japanese, half American kid just being like, "Good morning." And I'm like, "Oh, good morning." She's like, "How are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm fine." She's like, "Do you live here?" And I'm like, oh, that was a change. She's like, because literally it was like, "Good morning.
Yeah, right.
How are you?" And I was
How
like,
are you?
Really weird.
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah,
and
literally,
you?
really weird.
That's what you're expecting.
Yeah. And she goes, "Oh, do you live here?" And I'm like, "Oh, the accent came out." She's like, "Do you live here?" And I was like, "Yeah, I live here." She's like, "I've seen your hair before." And I'm like, "Thanks. Thank you. Yeah, I live around here." She's like, "Oh, wow, so you live here. I like your tree." And I'm like, "Thanks, it's a lemon tree." She's like, "Oh, I love lemons. That's wonderful." She's like, "I've got to go to school. Goodbye." And she's like, kids, just runs off. And I'm like, that was weird. But I was like, sure, fine, whatever, cool. I live my life. The week continues. It's now Wednesday. That was on a Monday. It's Wednesday. I'm in my apartment. I'm doing some work. It's like 4 p.m. Kids are going home from school. I'm hearing the kids running up and down and shit.
Yeah.
And I hear this girl's voice again. I swear to God, I wanted to be like, "Oi, shut the fuck up," because she goes, they're walking, they're talking whatever in like English and Japanese, and the kid stops and goes, "Oh my God, guys, you know the guy with the afro? Yeah, the guy with the afro, the one with the afro. He lives there. He lives right there. See that apartment with the trees and the lemon tree? That's a lemon tree. He lives there. That's his house. That's his apartment. The second floor, right there." And I'm like, this bitch. This raggedy. Are you doxing me right now to your fucking elementary school friends? I was like, this fucking.
Now you're gonna get fucking ding dong ditched.
Probably a ding dong fucking. I was like, this raggedy bitch is screaming all my public information on the streets of Kogane. I was like, bro, we're gonna fight. I wanted to open my window and be like, "Oi, like, shut up. Like, what the fuck, dude? Could you stop? Fuck's sake." But yeah, so like, I'm like, let me not dox myself. Because I'm moving pretty far from my old area. So I was like, for a little bit anyway, let me try and not dox myself to the best of my abilities. But the plan is house moving in around September, probably.
Okay.
Found a really nice house. It should be wonderful. Separate room, which is great. Means I can make content every day, continuously. No distractions from like having to reset up my studio every day, which is good.
Which is nice.
It's very nice, honestly. YouTube numbers are really good right now. Bruh. Every week I'm gaining subscribers. I lost a subscriber, just one. And I was like, oh, really upsetting. At this size.
I always see that on our YouTube too, and I'm like, why?
It hurts, honestly.
And then I realize I'm like, they're probably not actually a real person.
It's probably a bot or something. Yeah. But you lose one. When you only have about 2,000 YouTube subscribers and you lose one, bro, it hurts. You're like, I'll always remember you, the real booty hole muncher 18247 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, I lost one and I was like, depressing. But then I gained 10, so I was like, oh, okay, fantastic. Like, you know what I mean? So like, videos are doing well, people are enjoying it. I'm getting like feedback from people, which I really enjoy. So if you do watch my videos, guys, I release like at least I try to use like bi-weekly when I have the time to make a video. But when I do, leave comments, leave constructive criticism. I really enjoy it. Like, I think one video, someone was like, the last one I posted, last one, someone commented like, "Hey, source more things." They were like, more sources. Don't use one main source and use others to bolster. They were like, use multiple sources when script writing, like equally. And I was like, good. I was like, yeah, I'll do just that. So the last video I made, I did that. I used like multiple sources when like writing this video. And I was like, excellent. This is a way better rounded video. Good job, me. Pat myself on the back, you know? So yeah, constructive criticism, always welcome in my books. But yeah, the plan is continue doing that. And then for the next 6 months to, I want to say 2 years-ish to like the extent of this contract, the plan is basically to make as much content to grow the channel as large as possible. And then depending on where I'm standing with the channel and my work, I might leave Tokyo for like 2 years. Like legitimately.
Really? To go where?
Open a cafe.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Just for a bit. So this is still like all in the works, very much like not even a handshake deal, but very much kind of like we've discussed this and it's been asked if I would also want to do this. And I was like, it sounds pretty fucking cool. I would definitely want to jump into this a little bit. So in Nagano, there's a grape farm, which is why I was picking grapes last weekend.
You didn't talk about it at all.
I'll talk about it as well then. My muscle. Oh, okay. It's hard labor, David.
Yeah,
it's a prison camp, David.
Okay.
I was tricked, David. Oh, I'm not gonna get into it yet, but fuck me, David. Oh my god. So like,
that's how they get you.
Okay, let me take it down. Okay, so, it's not the grape farm I went to. It's a different one, but that grape farm has a lot of space, and they want to open a cafe in this grape farm. And they were like, we need someone to run this cafe. You're like, do you guys want to do it for like a year or two? And we're like, yeah, fuck yeah. That sounds sick. I want to open a cafe eventually, like a community space somewhere near-ish to Tokyo. So like, you're giving me free reign to like learn.
To fail if I need to.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
To fail if I need to learn.
To fail
about,
safely.
Yeah, exactly. It's like fail safely. Because like the main point of this cafe isn't like the cafe. It's the fucking grape farm. The grape farm is making the money. But they're like, we also have like barbecue spot. We have cafe area. We have these other things we also want to do. Like, do you want to help us with the cafe? And I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, that sounds sick. So the plan is like, help them with the cafe, learn like the in and outs of running a cafe. Where do I source the beans from? I don't know how to fucking source beans. Like, who do I talk to about that, you know? So like things like that, learn as much as I can in like a year or two, and then come back to Tokyo and be like, are we back, baby? Here's our cafe. And while I'm doing that, I'll be making videos the entire time. Just like, I'm in Japan. You know, my everyday videos are just like, here's interesting thing about Japan, but also like, so anyway guys, I have a cafe now. Here's what I'm learning and stuff. So that's kind of like the 4 years. Think of that, dude. 4 year plan. Fuck. But that's the kind of on paper 4 year plan of what we're kind of doing in the future. But yeah, for the time being, I'm trying not to think about the grape farm cafe element of it. I'm just kind of thinking about what needs to be done now, which is making as much content as I can to get the channel as monetizable as possible.
Right.
So that if I do move, when I do move to like another prefecture, if I can work remotely from the current one I'm working in, fantastic. But if I can't, I want to know that at least I can do like other things freelance as well. Like I can do content things freelance as well. Like I have enough contacts in the PR space who just like give me free things because they like working with me, or they'll send me on trips because they like working with me. And like I'll make content and give them the content to use for like CMs and PR stuff. So if I have my own channel, my own base, my own like influence following to wield, I can use my connections I've built over the last like 4 or 5 years to actually do something with that. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's kind of that's the short-term plan. I've been thinking about it for a while and I've discussed it a lot for a bit, but because I couldn't see the path to completing it, it was always something I could only talk about. But now I finally can see like how to get to A to B to C. For the last like 2 months, I've been like working on it basically. So it's been fun. That's kind of the long and short of it. Pretty excited for it. It's gonna be a very busy 6 months. Like I can already feel it. The next 6 months are gonna kill me, dude. Honestly, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be like waking up early, making content, or it's gonna be like doing work stuff, thinking about like the move, looking at like researching new stuff for like videos and stuff. Dude, it's a lot. It's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it, but I know for a fact I'm gonna be so busy. And the more I grow, the more like my PR companies will be like, hey, you've gained more followers on X platform. Here's money. Please go here for us, basically, because they want more vlog style content.
Right.
So I want to try to release like more travel vlog-ish content, as well as like sit down talky videos. Because for those that don't know, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again, if you want like free trips to Japan, let's say you're like, I'm an influencer, I'm a creator, and I want to go to Japan for free as part of like, I don't know, Travel Japan PR program, whatever. But the only videos you've ever made and your specialty content is World of Warcraft. It's going to surprise you. They're not going to send you to Japan. They might send you to fucking Mordor, but they're not going to send you to Japan because your content doesn't align with what's going on in Japan, basically. If you're only making sit-down game content, you're not going to get any travel companies come to offer videos. It doesn't make sense. The content doesn't line up basically. So like you're making content that you want to get.
Depends what you're doing, but yeah.
It depends what you're doing.
In general, I agree.
In general, yeah. As a man who works in the engine rooms of this, you can get them to advertise on videos and stuff or influencers that don't 100% align with their product, as long as they have enough of an overlap, enough of an overreach that you're like, okay, this can kind of work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're an anime creator and your only focus is, I don't fucking know, like Pokemon or whatever, I don't know, and a new Digimon game comes out, you can make the connection, you can make the jump, kind of thing. But if you're an anime creator and fucking Elden Ring expansion comes out and you want a free copy to stream, no one's gonna give you that copy because you've only been streaming to Pokemon Red,
right?
Or something. I don't know, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you got what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like that. You can make the arguments, but you want to stream what you want to be like sponsored under, basically. Well, it's my wheelhouse. It's my bread and butter. This is what I like. It's really fun. But yeah, that's the plan. So more vlog content, but I'm trying to make it interesting, engaging and stuff. It's hard. Vlog content's really difficult for me because I find vlogs boring. You know what I mean? Like I don't.
Boring, yeah.
They're boring. I don't find them interesting. But I think it's because I don't care about people's lives. Forgive me, but I don't. So I don't. It's hard. I don't care. It's really difficult to watch.
Says the man on a podcast that's an hour long every week talking about horse shit.
Yeah, exactly. And people love this content, and people tune in to watch vlogs. Like I have so many comments being like, Jordan, vlog your week. I want to see what you do. And I'm like,
no, you don't.
Why? Like I don't get.
Yeah. Right.
I get it.
You do. But I don't want to make it.
Yeah, exactly. I get it. Like
right.
My friend is a vlog. She does like a monthly Sunday vlog where every month she'll make like a big roundup vlog of like what she's done in the month.
Right.
And I'm like, bro, the energy to make these. And she's like, yeah, people love them. They love seeing like what I'm doing in Japan, how I'm living in Japan, blah, 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 like what I'm doing here, where I go. And I'm like, why? And she's like, just living, people like living vicariously through people. People like watching that type of like real life content. I get it. It's probably connected somewhere between that mind place of a reality TV and like a documentary or something. Yeah. There's a weird space between that people really enjoy. But I'm more on the side of documentaries and not reality TV, which is why I probably don't understand the connect. Or there's like a weird misconnect with me. But I get people like it. People want to see it. And I don't mind creating it, especially if I'm doing something interesting. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do my best to like give you guys what you want to see while still making like what I want, basically. It's fun.
JVlogs kind of lost all value to me after going to Japan one time.
Yes, you are correct. You are 100% correct. That is, you have the correct opinion. That is the correct opinion.
In most like it's weird because like in most cases, like if that person lives in Tokyo, then you probably shouldn't care. But if they live somewhere like weird, like if they're living in like the middle of like the mountains in Hokkaido in a fucking log cabin or some shit,
I'd watch that.
They might be interesting, right?
That's cool as shit.
No, but if it's like I'm another dude who lives in Tokyo, it's kind of like whatever.
That's
like,
why
coming from a man who is the guy who lives in Tokyo, right?
Yeah.
Like it's, if you listen to this and you can sit through a fucking hour and a half.
You're gonna love some podcast. You're gonna love some vlogs, yeah.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Like, maybe you don't. Maybe you're just like, I'm good. Like, this is enough already. Like, I don't need any more.
No, I'm similar. I can listen to an hour and a half podcast that is two men talking about whatever. For like, I listen to like bilingual news, which is basically like two people reading the newspaper in two languages. Like, it's not like. Great podcast, great for learning languages, but it's not like any one of them is an expert in the subjects they're talking about to the extent where I'm getting some kind of like juicy nuggets.
Hey, if you come to this podcast thinking that we're an expert in any field at any time on anything, you're
an expert. Oh, relax. Slanderous that is right there. Oh, that's slander right there, dude. But it is a hey guys, I just realized that Dan is right. Dan said you name drop your station like every other episode. I do, yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do. But yeah, 100%. Like I think a lot of people tune in less for the Japan content, more just for like bants about like whatever we're doing in our lives, basically, which I really enjoy.
Yes, for us, like it's Japan is like the window dressing, right?
It is, yeah.
It's just kind of like
it's on the outskirts, the
omnipotently there,
yeah.
but it doesn't really matter all that much really. Like on the occasional episode where it's like we talk about something like hyper Japanese,
We will, yeah, 100%.
then
We have to.
sure. Like when we talked about the
Elections.
or like the murder that went on in Hokkaido, right? Like that.
Yeah.
Outside of Hokkaido, probably most people don't give a shit about that.
No, yeah,
but it's
zero.
interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
But you could listen to that whether you live here or not. Like whether we lived here or not, like I could have. All of that stuff the information was on the internet, right? Like
People
I
like
could have
reading.
accessed that information from anywhere. I think it's a little bit different in that for stuff like that, we do have the experience of living here. So there's a little bit you can like explain. Here's a perfect example. I recorded another podcast this morning for the Common Rider podcast.
Hell yeah.
And one of the people, they're like, there's two people at a cafe and they're eating and they get attacked and one of them's a cop or whatever, right? So they stand up to go like fight whatever fucking monster outside the cafe and they both run off of screen. And the cop comes back and he grabs something off the table and then runs off screen.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the fuck? Like, why did he come back? Like, that seems like why did you put that in? Why did he come back? And they're like, what is that? And immediately I'm like, oh, it's the receipt.
It's the receipt, yeah.
But you wouldn't know that if you didn't come or live here. So they're like, oh, that makes so much sense. I'm like, yeah, he's a cop.
He's a cop.
He wouldn't like dine and dash because
He's gonna pay. Yeah,
as fucking bad as a cop.
Oh, that's really good. Yeah,
but if
no
you didn't
one
live in
noticed
Japan,
that.
you wouldn't notice that.
That's so fucking smart. No, yeah, good point. Like, very good
So
point.
like, I think
yeah,
that's
yeah.
where living here and talking about stuff in
That's
Japan
funny, yeah.
makes a difference because there is that familiarity with the topic.
It's why I try to make videos that a lot of people don't know how to research. Like my last video I made was about the biggest fucking international tourist blunder from Tochigi Prefecture, and every news source barring one was in Japanese. Basically, like Tochigi Prefecture made a $250,000 per person luxury tour. That was the most dog shit tour you've ever seen.
It's Tochigi,
Bro, it what? No, they made it. Tochigi's vibey. They made it what? Bro, they made it so much worse. Oh my, Tochigi, what have you done?
Actually, Tochigi has like nice kind of like
No, exactly.
camping stuff.
Exactly.
And like Nico's there.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, yeah, there is stuff. There's that giant what is it? The giant pink lake or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Yeah. I'll put it in the Discord. I'll put the video in the Discord. You guys can watch it. It is a damn shame the way that my boys massacred Tochigi. But yeah, videos like that as well. Stuff like that is fun to research and like.
It's not Pink Lake. It's a field of flowers that are pink.
That makes more sense. But yeah, videos like that are only in Japanese are really fun to like research and like translate just because like I know people can't access the information basically. But yeah, fuck me, dude. What a week. My arms hurt. My entire body's in pain. People are at AX currently, the anime con.
Yes.
So because of that, my workload is kind of heavy because I'm helping covering work and stuff. You know how it is. But fuck me, dude. I am.
Who gives a shit about that weeb crap?
People. It's the biggest fucking convention, David. It's so fucking huge. It's crazy.
Bunch of fucking nerds.
Dude, it's massive.
As a man who is a fucking nerd,
I was gonna say.
Y'all are fucking nerds.
Y'all are fucking nerds. But it's I was watching
Here's me looking down on you. Pathetic.
I was watching so I've never been to AX but we were talking about it in the up and coming weeks to people leaving to AX, and I was looking at like videos of the convention. This shit is huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely ginormous.
It's very
like,
big.
It's so interesting. I kind of wanted to go just to like see how insane it truly is, but maybe next year I'll give it a go. I had people I wanted to meet there as well, like some certain clients with that I wanted to talk to, and like friends I made along the way with like during this job. But next year we had email discussion where we're like, we'll meet next year. Don't worry about it. Next year we'll hang out. There's always another festival. You know how it is. Well, it's been good.
Yeah.
Oh, alright, dude. Oh, there you go. I'm fucking falling asleep. I was going to talk about grape stuff, but I can wait till next week because I want to make a video about it as well.
Okay,
my body still hurts.
I'm going places in the future.
Go on.
Well, we can talk about it.
No, go on.
In August, in the middle of August,
Yeah.
I'm going to Hokkaido finally.
Oh, Hokkaido's so nice, dude.
So,
Good job.
yeah.
Fuck.
Going for a couple days. You know what's wild? So we finished booking like all the book like Airbnb style places.
Ooh. Yes. Go on.
We booked Airbnb for 3 days.
Hey, I hate Airbnb though. Continue.
I'm saying Airbnb style.
Oh,
It's not
forgive
actually
me.
through
Okay,
Airbnb.
fair enough.
But,
forgive me. Continue. Yeah.
how much do you think for, let's say, like two days for 3 people? How much do you think it costs for 2 days total?
In Sapporo?
Yes.
3 days.
Yeah. For 3 people.
3 people?
Because we're sharing a room with Chiro's friend, but then after that we're staying like a couple more days.
Yeah.
Because it's for as it seems to be the case with you and me all the time. It's for a
Doxing?
wedding.
Wedding. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's always a fucking wedding, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes, the weddings have made me travel more than me actually wanting to travel.
Anything else? I'm gonna say, like Niman.
Lower. Ichiman Sanzen. For
Shut
3 people.
Fuck off! That was my low
Total.
guess.
No. Total.
Total.
Not per day.
Oh, total.
Not per day. Total.
Wait, total?
Hey, I don't know. I didn't make the price. I was like, that can't be correct. But
Did someone die there?
maybe.
Is the fucking
Am I gonna die there?
is the fucking hash slang or whatever gonna be though? The fuck?
Hashtag haunted.
Oh my god! Hashtag real life haunting, boys.
Yeah.
Fuck me,
Extremely
dude.
fucking
That's so cheap.
And then,
Holy
like,
shit.
The following days, 'cause I think we're staying like 2 or 3 extra more days. I think it was like maybe Nimang.
I mean, that's fine. That's sick. Oh,
No, but like total. for
Total's
all-
Niman?
All the days. Yeah. Like insanely cheap.
what? I mean, to be fair, Hokkaido is very cheap. One of our friends is moving up to Hokkaido soon, and they're renting out an entire house for basically like pennies on the fucking yen.
So I'm looking forward to that because like I've always wanted to go to Hokkaido.
It's the best prefecture. It's so good. There's a reason Hokkaido has been #1 every fucking year for the like most beautiful prefecture ranking
I
contest.
want to go. I want to eat
So good.
cheese and
Bro,
corn
and milk
and
and ice cream.
cows.
Ooh, and some beef, and the seafood's good there as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Hokkaido has everything. It is everything you want,
But
honestly.
I never want to live there. Oh, well, actually, no. Hey, you know what? I haven't been. Maybe I should withhold my opinion.
Yeah.
Until I've been.
Wait to go and check it out, and then check it out during the winter, and then check it out during like the spring and summertime, and then make your decision. Because I went during the winter, and I was like, Hokkaido, maybe we can't be friends because this is so cold.
Yeah.
Stupidly cold, like silly levels of cold, basically. But no, I know people who live there really like it, so you know it is what it is. Just Hokkaido, no other plans in the future.
At the moment, that's like kind of the biggest thing on the horizon. I mean, like you, I've also discussed starting businesses.
Wonderful.
But like that's kind of like in the pie in the sky.
Yeah. Like 5 years down the line, far future type things.
No, not that long. We're talking like
Ooh.
maybe a year and a bit, but
Ooh,
like
okay.
it's still kind of it's a twinkle in my eye.
It's we'll get there eventually. It needs to take shape type thing, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. It honestly takes a last thought. These things honestly do take a long while to like really take shape. Even things from like content creating, things like starting businesses or like ideas we're gonna do. Like honestly, it's like it can be a year of thinking, just like a year of being like, is this the correct way to go to take the first step?
Right.
And a lot of people are like, just do it, just go. And it's like, no, because if you don't look before you fucking leap, that's how you end up jumping into shit.
You could end up in a bad situation financially, and then that's not like you have to understand that like not every business idea is a success.
Yeah.
So there is a high, I would say, typically there's a pretty high possibility that your business is probably gonna fail.
Yeah, pretty much.
But because there's like statistics like most businesses fail
In the first year, yeah.
within the first year. So
Like my business of a whiskey and kindergarten distillery didn't work.
weird.
Weird, I know. Thought I could distill those kindergartens.
Just kept falling in the barrels. I don't know.
No, the barrels are for the kids.
Yeah, there you go.
I know, it was weird. Kept getting it mixed up.
But yeah, I think we'll cut it off there. We'll end it there. It's already been an hour and a half.
Oh, that'd be good.
So I think that's a decent length
Yeah, we
episode.
vibing.
Next week, like I said, do we want to do a podcast? Do we want to do a show? Hang on. let me see when in the month
Okay.
is next week. That's maybe we'll do like a show that's not a podcast episode on like the 27th.
Hold on.
At the end of the month.
I'm trying to find my schedule. That works.
Yeah, do like a just like do a stream, record it. We'll put it up on YouTube. I don't know. We'll think of a theme of what we want to do, because by then I'll have money, so like I can spend money on things. We want to
That works.
do something for that episode.
I'm just looking through my my weird shared timetable thing to see what we're doing these days.
That's fair. Like I also have a wacky fucking timetable.
Dude, it is absolutely fucked currently. It doesn't help that I think Sean booked us a live show. That I fucking love that kid. Sean goes to us, "You guys interested in this live show?" And we're like, "Yeah, it sounds good." He's like, "Good, I've booked tickets." But you fucking what the fuck, bro? I was like, "Okay, cool. I guess we're going to a live show."
I was thinking of maybe doing something for my birthday.
Yes,
just
dude.
Here, like
Yeah.
just have people come over. I'll cook, like something like that.
I'm down for that. Let me know, dude.
Yeah.
Your birthday's July this month. You're July as well.
Yeah.
When are you?
18th.
18th. Fuck yeah, dude. Let me know. I'm down for that. I'll make pie or something.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Hell yeah, boys.
Okay.
All right, boys. I'm gonna love you and leave you. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Don't die in this god awful Japanese weather right now. It is the worst it's gonna be in for a while. But good luck. Stay hydrated, and I'll touch you on the flip side. See ya.
Bye bye.